Ha! Good evening. Welcome to Monday night. It's Monday night. It's eModels night. eModels. eModels.co. eModels.co.uk. That's us. That's him. I've just read it. I've just had to Google it. Yes. Yes. Good evening and welcome to eModels. eModels.co.uk. And yeah, that's it. That's my bit. Over to Foxx for terms and conditions.
Ha! Is that how we do it now? Ha! Hey, is that? Oh, you really have finished. Oh, okay. Oh, hey everyone. It's at least it's Foxx here. No, of course it's me because I'm.
Well, it is. You can say that. You're allowed to say that because it's true.
It's all gone wrong. Yes, welcome. It's Monday night. It's eModels. It's your show on a Monday night. It's time to sit back with a nice beverage and a comfy chair and listen to us prattle on about nonsense for an hour and a half and maybe talk a little bit about models. But welcome. As always, it's your show. If you're watching this, we do encourage you to come and join the live chat, which is over there somewhere on the YouTubes. If you're watching this and you can't see the live chat, just beyond those idiots over there. If you can't see the live chat, you need to be watching on YouTube. So if you're watching this embedded on the eModels website or on Twitter or somewhere else or Facebook, click on the little YouTube icon.
Twitter?
There. Did I? Yeah, you might.
Now you're watching it on what?
Somebody might post a link to it on Twitter.
I don't know.
You watch it on Periscope, can't you?
Yeah. No, that's only for people that are dating, I think. But yeah, you can watch. Somebody post a link with the video onto it, and they could. Shut up! You made me forget my words now.
Yeah, it seems like it's a night for forgetting words tonight, and I've just forgot to put it on live chat, so I don't know what anybody's on about.
What a simple job.
If ever there was a time, this should have been gin. So anyway, yes, welcome. If you come and join us on YouTube, if you're watching it embedded in the eModels website somewhere else, click on the YouTube icon that's down there somewhere in the bottom right corner, and you can join the live chat. And you want to join the live chat because we're doing a mug giveaway tonight, and you have to be in the live chat. You've got to be in it
to win it.
Yeah, good job, Ted. Good guess. See what Ted did there with the pointing and everything.
I know, he's getting good at this, isn't he?
That's what he does when he does the like cross-country skiing thing in his back garden.
He dances with his thumbs, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, dancing like Dad.
It's like elderly Bez. So yeah, come and join the live chat. As always, ask us questions, talk to us about things. That's what we're here for. Please keep it clean in the chat. This is an eModels.co.uk show, so please don't say anything rude, and please make sure not to mention other retailers in the chat. Thank you very much. Good night.
Yeah. Did we mention a bit about if you want to chat to us, you can put your chat in bold.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, forgot that, Ted. Well done, mate.
Yeah, see, I'm remembering things tonight. My memory's coming back. It'll only be around for 5 minutes or so, but hey, yeah. I forgot what I was going to say now.
Because I put it on the big screen now.
Is it whenever someone goes full screen, they forget everything that they were something? I don't remember.
Yeah, it's because the pressure is not full screen.
Frighten the life out of me then.
Yeah. Well, we're not full screen. The pressure's off, you see. But now it's Colin's turn for definitely.
Oh yeah, that'll be right. Yeah. Sorry, mate. I was like, what am I doing full screen?
Yeah, we're rushing through. Well, it seems like we're rushing through things tonight.
A bit quicker than normal, that mate. I was just getting comfy.
We're nearly near the end now.
Yeah, I just wondered if there's someone on telly that everybody wants to watch or something.
Yeah, you're on a date, Ted.
Yeah.
On this very day in 1974, the third and final astronaut crew returned from the US Earth orbiting Skylab space station. Wow. Completing their mission in space that began on the 16th of November 1973. Overall, Skylab orbited Earth 2,476 times during the 171 days of its occupation.
Keep going, Foxx. You haven't done a 2,487 yet.
Yeah, three manned Skylab missions, which started with the first crew on the 25th of May, 1973. Get in there.
Do you think if they were the last crew, they sort of scavenged some souvenirs off it?
Mate, I would have nicked the Skylab mugs, knives, forks, whatever, mate, wouldn't you?
I would have been coming out with my cardboard box full of post-it notes and pens and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you'd nick the wheels off it and everything, wouldn't you? Well, they didn't have any wheels.
Had a big bag of goodies, mate.
But I bet they wrote the name all over it as well. You know, John was here. You know.
What we got? Well, on births, isn't it? Of course, it's still me, isn't it, you pilch? On this very day in 1897, a bloke called Rudolf Dreikers was born, and he was an American psychiatrist and educator who developed the Austrian. I thought I was doing really well then.
I thought you were doing really well then.
Psychologist order system of individual psychology. There you go.
Yeah, you're doing well.
Wait, what was ostrigen?
Yeah, you were doing well till the ostriches broke in.
We've got another geezer here who was.
If you get an ostrich and squeeze it really hard, then you get the gin out of it. That's what it is.
Absolutely, mate. We've got another geezer here. He was a Roman Catholic priest, a cultural anthropologist, and his name was Wilhelm Coppers with a K. He was born on this day. Oh, God. Last birth, before we do a death even, was a Russian chemist. It's been a while since
you're not bad with the Russians, are you? So
we'll have a go at this one.
This is good. This is going to be good.
He did something. What's that? He did something with the periodic table in 1871, but that don't matter. His name was Dmitry Ivanovich Mendeleev. There you go.
Not
How
bad.
about that? I think that was good.
That was pretty good.
That'll work.
You did a good pronunciation of Mendeleev there.
Yeah. Took a while, Fox. I like to get my mouth right there, mate. That's
Steady,
wrong,
Neris.
We got some deaths now. Let's have a look.
We'll try and get our mouth right. But
Death of the week.
Death of the week. Death of the week. Which is where? That's Bones. 2 secs. I've got to go full screen to find the dead.
That's a very philosophical question. Where is death?
There you go. That's the ones who died under the name of ones that died, Cole. Oh, God. We got a bloke here. He was a Swiss American astronomer and physicist. And his name was Fritz Zwicky. And he died at the ripe old age of 75. Bless him. Where's the other one? We got gold.
Gold.
Oh, no. This bloke who died in 1921 at the age of 78 was a Russian geographer and revolutionist who combined biological and historical facts to arrive at the theory of mutual aid. And his name was Peter Alexeyevich Kropotkin.
Kropotkin.
Yeah. And he died.
It's amazing how many people have like middle names like Gold.
Oh, mate, I thought he was the worst one until I saw the one below, which is a French soil scientist with actually Muntz, who proved in 1877 that the nitrification is a biological process in the soil by using chlorophyll vapors to inhibit the production of nitrate. Yeah, and his name's Jean-Jacques Théophile.
The way you faded out.
Schluishing. There you go.
How do you spell the fade in the middle? T-H-E-O.
Theophile. Theophile. Hey, don't help me because I can see him corpsing just over the top of me.
Well, you spelled it out and I still can't figure it out. So.
Yeah, it's Theophile. Let's put these on so I can see it. Theophile. There you go.
Theophile.
Is it Old MacDonald? Because he had an E-I-E-I-O.
So yeah.
See, what you don't know is that what you don't know is Colin's got all his notes on a little monitor, but it's on a little track and it goes back like that. Backwards and forwards. He's like, it's moving again.
There you go. So that was the tastefully done factoids and births and deaths of the week, folks.
God bless them and all who serve them.
Yeah, well attempted, Colin. Yeah, certainly brings mirth and merriment to the eModels channel on a Monday night. That's what everybody looks forward to. And
Yeah.
I see we even have Matt Brennan tonight, who's first time on live chat, who's coming just specially for
Yep,
Death.
he's probably gone now. He's finished now. That's it.
Yeah, it's probably got that. Yeah.
Never to
good.
return again.
And he set sail from Liverpool, never to return.
He'll be telling his mates tomorrow at work, and they'll go, "No, that couldn't have happened." Yeah, some bloke in an hat trying to read names. That's bad.
Yeah,
Listen,
well,
we're quality and professional. You'd have to watch Channel 5 to get better. I mean, get worse than this.
Yeah. What don't help is your little box is just above that sounded wrong. It's just above my webcam, so I can see you corpsing every day.
yeah,
every
the
week.
problem is, Colin, when you went looking up round the camera, I couldn't see, and so I was doing.
Well, when my webcam's in the middle of the screen, the wire goes diagonal across the factoid. I have to keep reading round it.
So when you were doing it, I thought, what's Colin looking at?
Oh, I put mine over the back, but I have the same problem. It kind of goes over the.
Yeah, it just
Annoying,
flops
isn't it?
down, and it.
If you know it's going to be a problem next week, then when you're doing the births and the deaths, I can always do that next week to make it a bit easier for you, so you don't have to worry.
I've moved my system. I'm going to clip it to the side of the thing there so that it's out of the way. So yeah.
Oh, yeah, but that'll
Has it
make it
dropped
easier if you
out?
don't have to worry about Foxx. No, I just removed him to
Oi.
make it easier for you,
Oi,
so you don't have to watch him while you're doing your speaking. Then it won't
I
distract
wouldn't
you so
mind,
much.
but I'm sat there for 3 minutes waving at the camera going, oh, wait, I'm not even there. My brain was kind of going, something's not quite right here. What's different about this 3 people? Wait, 3 people? Wait.
Fitted in the screen quite well, that though, Chris, didn't it, mate? Not that I'm dropping an in.
Yeah, it does show. It just going full size 3 screens. It just shows that I haven't had a shave and all the blemishes and things like that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I can get away with it on this size.
Well, you could always show it off for doing that, and then you.
Right, yes. Well, it's up to everybody else now. It's your turn to bring up the subjects to talk about and things like that.
Yeah, we've done our work. We're just going to sit back and kick it.
Obviously, it's belly and bench if there's nothing else that comes up in the meantime. So what's in the belly or what's on the bench, or more particularly, what's been in the belly or what's in the belly and things like that. And what's everybody been doing this week? For me, I know that I've been modelling this week because there are more brushes in the brushes to clean cup than there are in the ready use. Yeah, and you know that you've got to get round and clean them sometime, but I haven't.
We do have a question in chat already. EC Idaho has already typed in bold. He has a question. He says, has anyone used Mr. Hobby liquid cement? Is it similar? Oh, and then he does say a bit later on, to tell me an extra thing. I was going to say similar to what, but yeah. I haven't used it, so I can't comment. But has any of you used Mr. Hobby liquid cement?
No, the only ones I've used are Plastic Magic and Tamiya Extra Thin, mate.
Yep.
So,
I haven't used it, but I think it's basically the same thing. I think.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's the same. I haven't used anything else apart from Tamiya since I stopped using tube cement.
Yeah, I don't know if it's an extra thin cement like. Or if it's a thick cement like regular Tamiya cement there. I don't know. It'll be similar kind of cement, but I don't know if it's watery or gloopy like regular Tamiya or extra thin. So it's probably a good cement there.
Yeah, it's always worth a try, even if it is a bit thicker than the Tamiya Extra Thin. You can always keep it, buy some Tamiya Extra Thin, and it's good for keeping it on the shelf.
I find it invaluable to have at least one thin watery cement and one thick gloopy cement anyway.
Yeah.
Because thin watery cement's no good when you've got 2 things that you have to stay in place.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas thick.
I've still been known to use a bit of the old Umbrol tube cement, mate,
Dear
just
me,
for that.
that's desperation. That is.
Oh, no,
Something
I've
really
got a
sticky.
drawer full of it.
Yeah, I've got a few of them as well, Colin. They do come in handy, especially if you're gluing two plates together where you can't get in the middle of them. Squirt some out on.
You know, especially when you got to pick the bits up to fit, and it's sort of you just like think getting hold of that.
If you got a big surface area where if you put extra thin on it would evaporate off dead quickly,
Yeah.
you just use regular Tamiya cement or that Humbrol stuff. Anything thick and gloopy, slap it on. Ted,
Slap it on. Who's got the button?
I got a button.
We
I'll press
all
it.
have.
Shall I press it?
press it.
Slap it on.
Consider it pressed.
There you go.
We
Sitting
also
here
have.
waiting for it to come up. And
I know you're listening for it, but it doesn't come up on our side. It's only
Yeah, we can't
Mark
see it.
Dale has returned after months and months. He says, "Lovely to hear your dulcet tones once more. I like Mondays again." I think he's listening to a different show. He might have us on the Vision, but he's listening to something different if he's hearing dulcets. So yeah, that's nice.
Is that kind of keyboard? No, that's dulcimer. Sorry.
It's very similar.
Yeah. Is that a wibble, Fox? Says Graham McRobert. I don't wibble. And I'm going to tell you for the next 20 minutes why I don't wibble.
He's wibbling about wibbling now. He's got wibble,
It's a wibble.
wibbleception.
Yeah.
Ted, why don't you grow a full beard? Because she won't let me. Yeah,
It's
I
not
tried
her
it once.
face.
Yeah, she won't let me. I just get moaned at, and you know how you get the silent treatment. You know, when your tea gets slammed on the table in front of you, that sort of treatment. Yeah.
As
I
long
don't
as
shave the side bits. The wife will flick 10p pieces at me as I walk past. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, go and have a shave.
if you're still making your tea, then you're obviously doing all right. It's when she doesn't slam the tea down in front of you that you've got to worry.
Many years ago, when I was in my youth, and I had a certain, let's say, scruffy, grungy look with very long hair and beard, I may have had occasion to be sitting on the steps of Manchester Central Library waiting for someone, and I'd just finished a cup of coffee from the takeaway butty van. Somebody threw a 50p in it, and I'm like, I need a shave. I need to change my look. I'm just sat there on the steps waiting. I'm like, plink. Oh. Yeah. Oh, thanks, mate.
Yeah. And from that day on, he's never looked back.
Yeah,
He sits there every morning now.
Yes, I go, come on, 50p, come on. Can't get much for it, but it'll do.
That can only happen to you.
Yeah. I was kind of like annoyed and upset, and also kind of like, okay, free
Profit.
way.
Comedy gold, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dave Cardboard says he bought some Yoo-hoo glue, thinking it might be useful for PE, less brittle and more working time than CA, stronger than PVA. Anyone used it? Any downsides apart from it being stringy? I haven't used it for model making, but I have used Yoo-hoo glue, and yeah, it's a very thick gel-like glue. Does the job. Yeah.
It's the stuff in the yellow tube, isn't it?
Yeah, it comes in different tubes. But it's the
you
yellow
can
and
buy
black
it.
one.
You can buy it in tins like Evo stick as well. So,
I have seen people use it for one specific use in modelling, pretty much in miniature modelling, where it's used to imagine you're making a model of a monster of some sort, and it's got a mouth like and you want like drool and gobs of something like either blood or drool or gore, and you want that kind of drip. And what they do is they get a little filament like a hair, and they run some Yoo-hoo down it so it blobs at the end, and then it dries, and it looks like a drool or a whatever
I
it is.
suppose you could use that same effect then for things like icicles and things like that then.
It tends to be like a blob on the end, literally like a bead of drool. So
It's not like a tapered cone. It's a
Oh, right,
blob with a blob at the bottom.
Bulbage on the bottom.
Yeah, you tend to do
bulbage.
it like a filament of like a brush hair or something, and then you put the glue down that, so that becomes invisible or very fine film. But yes, it's been used for that.
good idea. That you could use it for
Monsters.
Striglus and slime. And things. Billy and Bench Athol says he's fish and chips with tomato sauce.
Chips.
On the bench, same as yesterday.
Tim Young has belly roast chicken with roast potatoes and Brussels, roasted with bacon and red onions. Bench still working on the massive SU-34s for the Colin, what's that say? It's an airbase he's doing.
Yeah, the airbase.
Medlock says bench monogram 48th B29 Super Fortress. Belly will be chicken breast, barbecue sauce, and melted cheese with curly fries.
Curly fries.
Paul Despasso says it's interesting how both eModels and the USA Gundam store both have floating robots as their mascot. Yes, we have a floating robot as our mascot there. These guys can't see it, but it's there now. It replaces the E.
Yep.
It's called Sprue, and he's the new virtual mascot for eModels.co.uk. Yeah, that's it, really. It was just a design that eModels came up with and have run with.
Yeah, I don't think they've actually started using it all over the place just yet. They've probably got other things on the mind, but yeah, that's the new official logo that will be slowly filtering its way into the collective consciousness of the hive mind.
Sprue.
It's called Sprue.
Spro. Yeah.
Sprue.
EC Idaho says, not able to buy Tamiya locally anymore, just to Mr. Hobby. Go to eModels.co.uk, the UK's largest Tamiya stockist. You'll find everything you need. I know you're not in the UK, so, but yes.
Yeah, can they ship glue over? I don't know.
No,
if
you
it's-
can't. No,
And overseas, yeah.
but it's something worth saying, though, that all over the world, I know we are doing this for a retailer, but you'll find right now at the moment, products from outside your country of origin may be getting harder to find just for the moment for a lot of people because, of course, right now, exporting things and importing things is a lot more difficult for a lot of countries. So,
Yeah.
do keep your options open when you're buying things. Keep that in mind, and it applies to eModels as well. Don't forget, of course, if you're waiting for something to come in stock. I haven't heard anything official from them, but I'm sure they'll be experiencing some difficulties with some stock coming from outside the UK or outside the EU or whenever it comes from, especially from the Asian markets. So you'd be a bit patient with eModels and your other favourite retailers because it'll be difficult for them to get stock of stuff. But they'll do their best.
Absolutely. William Rayburn, lunch was homemade hamburger, lettuce, tomato, jalapenos. Dinner will be roast potatoes, onions. Bench, no one cares. There you go.
Is the right answer?
Is the correct answer.
Yeah, and then Tim Young says, "I care, William." It's an ongoing joke, Tim. We basically say we want to know all about the food. We don't really care about the bench bit. It's the food bit we're interested in. But tell us about your bench anyway.
Anders, sorry, Ted,
Well,
after you.
Yeah, Anders has got a spare tube. It's got an unopened tube of Britfix, a drink in it. Yeah, them little bottles of orange that cost about 40 quid for a little bottle of orange.
That you put in your gin. That's why you remember them, Ted.
Yeah, that's what you put in your gin. Yeah. He's got some Britfix 77 and I had it unopened in the box from when he was building in the 70s.
Oh,
It's gone. Yeah, they've gone hard by now. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
that won't be any good now.
That'll be worth an absolute nothing, but it'll be rock hard.
Be nice to keep just for the nostalgia, though. Yeah.
Does anyone? Here's a question I can answer. Mad Bren says, "Does anyone know the quality of the U-boat 7C Revell 1/72 scale?" Yes, it's actually really good. The 3 foot. I've done the 7C. The hull is really, really nice. Goes together beautifully. Some of the detail on the conning tower, like the anti-air gun and stuff, it's a little ropey, but third-party kit photo etch kits are available.
Yeah.
But no, it's a really good kit. It's about 3 foot long. Don't use the thread that comes with it. It comes with a thing of thread for the steel antenna cables. Throw that away. Don't use that. Don't use thread. Go and get yourself some Ammo by MiG rigging cable or some easy line or something like that. Don't use thread because it'll look terrible.
Yeah,
But it's a good kit.
Yeah, and throw the figures away.
Yeah, it does come with a load of 1/72 scale vinyl figures that they look really nice. They're beautifully sculpted, but they're vinyl plastic and they have a little base. So they'd look stupid on the U-boat anyway. But they're vinyl figures and they bend and flex. You can't paint them. So you just throw the figures away, throw the string away. But it's really worth it. It's a beautiful. I've made 2 of them and they're really quite nice. It's not a hard build, but you'll spend a while drilling out all the vent holes. But it's good fun. It's a good kit. I know that's me talking about Revell saying it's a good kit, but it is.
I know, you feeling all right?
I know, I might need to have a bit of swig of this.
Do you need to compose yourself there, mate? Because
Of this water-based beverage.
totally normal behaviour you're exhibiting, mate.
No, it's actually a good kit. I said some of the upper hull, some of the conning tower details are a bit, but there's loads of third-party kits for photo etch details. You have some good fun with that, especially if you want to make the U96, because you have to get some decals, but it's good.
Yeah.
Wayne Hayward on the bench is the Tamiya SAS Jeep, and belly is tuna pasta. That's a quick answer. There we go.
No happy days.
Where are we?
Donald
Matt Bradford says,
McKenzie.
Chicken tikka masala on the bench. Tamiya RGB 500 Suzuki on the. I'll read that again.
Did I miss that one out?
Matt Bradford says chicken tikka masala, and on the bench, use your punctuation, people. On the bench, Tamiya RGB 500 Suzuki, which I assume is some sort of motor velocipede.
I've got no idea where that one is, so there we go.
No, I'm looking for it.
We've got Donald McKenzie, belly Scotch pie with beans and chips. Bench, I've been playing with a USB microscope with the kids. It was bought for home teaching. Cool. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've been doing some home teaching this week.
Oh dear.
And yes. Oh, God.
Is that
yes,
the one you got the clue for
Yeah,
Ted.
because Skylar's mum's at work, so she's been round and I've had to do some home teaching. But we've been doing crafts. We've been doing geography.
Oh,
And we built a mountain range. Yeah, yeah. So she's learned all about contours from maps and things like that. And we've actually built a mountain range with proper contours. And now it's in the process of painting. And I can't. It just sort of getting me because no, that's not to scale. That's
You're there trying to mix. I bet you're there trying to mix the poster paints. Like, oh,
Yeah,
individual blades of grass in them.
mixing acrylic poster paints and try to blend the colours in, and then do something. It's just
Paint
getting
more-
You
paint
wouldn't
more
have snow on
gravelly
the
than
top
a-
of that. It's not tall enough. You've got grass on the top of that hill.
paint that comes out the pot like a gravel beach.
So now I'm looking around trying to find some really, 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 really tiny trees because it's about 1/2500 scale. So I've got to find some really tiny trees
just
to
be a-
add some.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, is anybody else homeschooling? What have you had to do if you've got the kids at home and doing homeschooling? Yeah, we did the maths, but that was quite easy because of Google.
Yeah, my youngest kid's 20, so I haven't been homeschooling, no.
No.
Yeah.
EC Idaho says belly pizza for lunch. Bench 100 scale RGM 79 GM.
Oh,
And Mark Dale says tic tac. I assume that's his entire dietary income at the moment. His entire input. Sorry, he's obviously had tic tacs for his dinner. Not a big dinner, but nice.
Graham M.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah, we
I've
haven't
not finished yet.
finished. Yeah, calm down.
Steady, Larris.
I know we're in a
so-
rush
so-
tonight for some reason, but
So his dinner was a tic tac, single one, and he's building a Wessex off of the 1980s. He's a glutton for punishment. I assume that's the helicopter. So it's a vintage. Not only is it a helicopter, it's also a vintage helicopter kit. I would just jump off a cliff. I would.
Yeah.
But maybe he's a member of the Star Trek crew because they had like Tic Tacs. That was a complete meal, wasn't it? What was the sci-fi things when you used to see a Tic Tac or a pill? And it used to be a full meal.
egg and chips.
Kebab.
Yeah.
Go on, Colin. You can go now.
I'm sorry. Cheers, mate. Graham M. Belly, an amazing ham steak with pineapple. Obligatory, he says. And Bench is back at the ATST. There you go. Oh, shut up. now.
Andy B67 reminds me about a tweet. He tells me about a tweet. He said, I saw that tweet, dude. Thank you for that. Also, I have seen that film before, but yes. He tweeted me a bit of vintage Pathé footage of Peter Cushing. A little thing about him making his model army because Peter Cushing used to play war games. You know, actor Peter Cushing. You may fire when ready. He used to play tabletop war games.
Warhammer.
Napoleonic.
Speaking of stars and modelling, what came to mind the other day was the wife reminded me she'd read it somewhere that Dick
Rod Stewart.
Emery was a model maker.
Yeah.
He was
Rod Stewart.
chairman of the Airfix Model Club.
I don't remember too much about Dick Emery there as a comedian. Vaguely.
Yeah, Dick Emery's show was essential 70s and 80s telly, mate.
I remember him. I just don't remember any of his act.
Yeah,
Isn't
so-
he famous for making them boards for filing your nails down?
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh,
Was he
So
the
what
one
he
that
did
had the
there.
kind of? Did he play he did a sort of characters? Oh, you are awful.
That was him. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
now.
Apparently he used to write for the Daily Mail or something like that. A regular modelling.
Well, we all have faults.
Yeah.
Rod Stewart's a modeller, so is Vladimir Putin. And all.
Yeah, Rod Stewart likes his model railways. He's got a massive
Yeah.
rail setup.
Pete Waterman. He's a model
Yeah.
railway enthusiast as well.
And they're only the ones that admit to it.
Yeah.
Donald McKenzie says, when I was talking about making drool for monsters, he says he used a strand of his daughter's hair for his resin alien busts drool.
Oh, impressive.
Yeah, you just use a very fine hair or thread that you're not going to see, and you coat it in the glue, and the glue beads at the bottom, and it looks like a gob of drool.
Oh,
And use
wow.
clear paints to colour it.
Ice Queen, belly, sausage, egg, beans, and hash browns.
Beans.
Bench,
Oh, that's good. It's sausage.
Bench is an MB military vehicle by Ming. There you go.
Tim Young says he's also Fox's boss. What? I've lost
Hey.
now. Don't know what I'm talking about. Michael Jackman says, Belly, KFC delivered. Oh, KFC finally started delivering to us. 4-piece boneless box. I have that. Really nice. 4-piece boneless box, bench, golden hind rigging. It was all good till you got to the golden hind rigging bit, and then it was like, oh.
Yeah.
Lee Barrett, Belly, Italian sausage in a roll. Bench 1/16th, ICM Centurion. What's special
Would
about
that be-
Italian sausage? Why is that different?
Would that just therefore be a sausage roll?
Not a sausage,
it's-
Italian sausage in a roll, not
So
sausage
it's a
roll.
sausage roll. It's a me, Mario.
Don't know.
That
Pronto
joke, guys,
modelling,
I'll-
Belly, pasta in tomato sauce. Bench going crazy printing things on the resin printer. Yeah, it seems to be a habit. When you get a printer, you got to print things.
Mayhem Modelwork says, Belly just making spaghetti and meatballs. Nom, he says. And Russell Williamson says, Belly, a ham salad sandwich. Bench, shed is totally buried under at least 2 millimeters of snow and inaccessible.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, we had at least... I went downstairs this morning and it wasn't even snow. It was like the occasional spicule. You know, you get little spiky bits of snow and drift across. And I'm like, brilliant. Keep doing this for about 6 hours and actually become snowflakes. And it didn't. It just carried on like that. Nothing happened.
Yeah, we haven't had snow for at least a week.
It's been snowing on and off all day today around down here. Yeah.
I did manage to go for a walk up a small fell just not too far away from me the other day and found about a foot square of snow, so I studied it. Yeah.
Yay.
Right.
Did you do a really small snow angel?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, just bigger than my foot, but it was snow. I found snow on the tops.
Mark Dale says, you still doing the retail experience thing? You mean what's in store? Yeah. I haven't bought a number 3 or whatever for months. Yes.
That's a posh way of putting it, isn't it?
It's Colin's turn for doing the retail experience special
Yeah,
today.
it's my turn tonight.
Well, it's like when you go to a theme park and you get the rides where you sit on it and just go through it. You don't do anything; you just sit and experience it. That's what it's like, a ride.
Yeah. Yeah. So the number 3 will be available for you in about half an hour normally. So keep an eye out
Foxx
and
will like number 3 and all.
slap it. In
Oh
your
yes, I know
basket.
what number 3 is. Yes, I do.
I don't remember what number 3 is.
Ding! Cashier number 3, please.
Yeah, I haven't made an attempt at guessing this week. I can't. Oh, well, we are.
Quano Man says, Bell, I'm going to regret reading this. Quano Man, because it's Quano Man. Quano Man says, Belly, food, and bench, a model. I knew I'd regret it, because I have had the pain meds what make me confused and do stuff the wrong way round today.
Yeah.
He says, yes, Dan, I knew I'd regret that.
Raging Modeler says bench, ox, and belly. Yeah, about that.
Eat food, Adam, or you'll
Yeah.
die.
Eat food or your beard will fall out.
Graham McRobert says, Belly, a chicken curry with some windy effects playing Flower of Scotland. And then just under that, we've got Scaly Models mentioning thing. I don't know if that was the windy effects summoned him.
Mention of wind and dad appears. Yes, we're always telling Adam off for not eating food.
Oh yeah, that just reminds me what's in store is tonight.
Yeah.
I remember now.
Anders Eriksson says, Belly, no diet today. Yes.
Yay.
Pasta and mincemeat sauce for dinner. A couple of hang on. There's some weird punctuation going on. No
Mincemeat
diet
sauce.
today. Pasta and mincemeat sauce for dinner. A couple of sandwiches with IKEA meatballs, pickled cucumber.
Oh, IKEA meatballs.
Yeah, IKEA meatballs.
That's the only meatballs that Skylar will eat for some reason. But,
I thought they made furniture.
I
Do you
They
know,
also
after
make meatballs.
After last week's show, I didn't actually end up buying any golden syrup. But now I've just remembered it, and now I really want to order some. He says, Bench, repairing tiny bits on the Panzer IV after a clumsy Sunday session. Oh
Oh,
dear. You're supposed to be
sound
painting and weathering, so what did you do that...
probably best not to ask about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I can't think if he's got to the stage where he should be on the outside of the hull. I can't think what tiny bits he would have broke.
Don't know.
It might be big bits that he broke.
Unless he's like pinged an antenna off or something, or...
Yeah.
Phil
right.
Lewis, Belly, cauliflower cheese with pasta and broccoli spears. Bench
Ooh.
to be determined.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. Where are we at?
Mad Bren says Easy Line might be better about the antenna cabling on the U-boat. Yes, Easy Line is really good, but it's also quite hard to get here in the UK. So if it's somebody in the UK, it's actually easier. Also, eModels don't sell Easy Line, and this is an eModels show. So
Yeah.
ammo binding,
Yeah,
rigging,
yeah.
or the easy line. Both are really, really good.
I tried to get some for. I did eventually get some for the big U-boat. You've either got to buy it from abroad or wait until somebody has it in stock in the UK, which isn't very often. So you just got to be patient, really. I'd suggest if you're starting to build, order it now, and you probably get it by the time you're due for that.
Yes. Yes, eModels do occasionally sell Easy Line, but it's quite hard to get here in the UK. But they do have the ammo rigging in stock, which is the same thing. Basically.
Yeah, they've got ammo rigging, but it is really thin.
Yeah.
They haven't got quite the size that you want.
Yeah, you need quite a thick gauge of it.
Emma Jane Young, Belly, Galaxy Enhanced Chocolate Egg.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Bench. Oh, go on.
Skylar came home today with an Easter egg.
Oh.
Already an Easter egg.
Oh. And her bench was a Stuart Toontake in Russian land lease colours and a 144 scale Panzer IV.
Cool.
Galaxy Enhanced Chocolate.
Phil Lewis says, "Oh yes, well done to the eModels team. The Albatross arrived on Friday, or was it Thursday? Nope, definitely Friday, which he won last week because he was last week's giveaway winner. Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah, build it, take a picture, put it on the Facebook page.
yes.
Absolutely. Stewpot says, does that mean I can trade in my old eModels mug for a new one with the sprue on it? Please, please, everyone will want to win a new mug. Haha. Yeah, there's no mention of new mugs. There was meant to be new mugs just before everything fell apart in the world, and it didn't happen. I'm sure at some point there will be a version mug with sprue on it, but I don't think it's going to be any
that
time soon.
transition period in it at the moment.
we
where
were supposed to
effectively-
we were supposed to be getting mugs with us on them, or our cartoons of us on them, but that
the builders mugs,
yeah. You
yes,
have to remember with
that,
Pete, mate,
no worries.
you have to with the Lord and Master Pete, mate, who runs the eModels. He does get excited about things, but then he gets easily distracted by another shiny thing. He's a bit like a puppy dog, so he has a great idea for like, we'll do the mugs with your characters on, and then 5 minutes later he's chasing something else.
Yeah, I think it's like one of them board meetings, isn't it? When you go to a board meeting and somebody comes up with a great idea and everybody votes for it and stands up and applauds and things like that. And as soon as you left the room, it's forgotten about and never.
Pete sits there looking at Yachting Times and goes, "Oh, a new yacht."
Yeah, Pete, mate, does he does get easily distracted by things.
Yeah, it's buying models for eModels, buying yachts, models, yachts. Oh, yachts. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pete Rogers says, "Not wrong with egg and." I did it again. I always call him Pete Rogers, but it's Peter Rogers. I do apologise. It's because I used to know someone called Pete Rogers many years ago. Peter Rogers says, "Not wrong with egg and chips. Poor man's meal fit for a king." Absolutely, especially if you put beans with it as well. Egg, chips, and beans.
It has to be with egg and chips. It has to be a runny egg, so you can dip chips in it.
Yep, egg, chips, and beans.
Phil Lewis is asking. He says, "I know you like to post a pic showing us with the giveaway. Should it be in the Boom Up? Well, you can do it in the Boom Up, or you can do it in the eModels Facebook page.
Well, I would say definitely do it in the eModels page because they sent it to you.
Absolutely.
Put it in the Boom Hut as well. You can do. Where are we up to? Oh, you are awful, says somebody. It moved. Phil Lewis.
Yeah, Phil Lewis.
People are talking to each other in chat. Tim Young says the floating robot is Fox's boss. No, I have no boss.
Just his overlord, that's all it is.
He's not the boss of me. He is.
Tim Young says, "Putin, a modeler. Why aren't there a better MIG kit available?" You'd have thought he'd have access to for all the plans, wouldn't he? Made his own. And
Probably. Graham M says, one more famous modeler, Peter Jackson, and Lord of the Rings fame.
Absolutely. We've got a
Well,
model-related question.
I was going to say that one's a bit more obvious because he owned a modelling company and also Weta. So
I don't know if eModels a bit balked this week. Somebody else's stream that I was watching the other night mentioned the same thing, but my chat keeps jumping.
I had issues when I streamed earlier in the day. It's been a problem for about a week, mate.
Yeah.
we have a proper question from Ron Mac 95. He says, "Question: Can you explain please PSI to me on an airbrush? I'm having terrible problems with paint splatter."
It could be a lot of things that, Ron. It could be anything from the paint's too thin. You're getting dry tip on your brush, on your airbrush. Could be the air pressure's not right. I usually set mine about 12 to 15. But what you want to do is get a ready mixed airbrush paint. Then you know it's not the paint, and then just try different PSIs on your brush to suit your needle and things like that, to suit your setup until you get the paint spraying right, and then you'll know. And then you can either discount the airbrush pressure, the airbrush itself, or it's a mixture of the paint. That's one way of doing it.
I mean, the first thing to do is basically clean your airbrush, because 99% of the time you just need to clean the airbrush, and I mean proper strip down clean. It depends on what paints you're using, but to break it down to real simple facts and figures, ignore any paint ratios and thinner ratios. It's all nonsense. Whatever you're painting, if it's acrylics, make sure it's the consistency of skimmed milk. If it's already that thin, you don't need to add anything to it. But if it's thicker than that, you need to add a little bit of thinners to it. If it's enamels or lacquers, they don't need thinning. They're already really thin. If it's primers, you don't ever thin those, but they'll need higher pressure. As for pressures can vary, because you asked about PSI in your question. PSI can vary depending on your airbrush, your hose, your equipment. Typical general finger in the air kind of general things to work for: gloss varnishes, thin enamels, thin lacquer paints, Vallejo metal colour paints. They're all really, really thin. You can spray between 10 and 12, 13 psi for those, roughly. For acrylics that you've watered or you've thinned down to skim milk thickness, probably somewhere between 15 to 20 psi. For primers, probably somewhere between 25 to 30 psi at that, and that's only real rough. If you're getting paint splatter, it either means your paint's too thick, so you need to thin it, because it's like trying to blow. You've got to imagine drinking McDonald's milkshake and trying to out of the straw. It's just going to go everywhere. So it's either your paint's too thick, in which case thin it down to the consistency of skim milk, or your pressure's too low, in which case if your paint is already at the consistency of skim milk, increase the pressure a little bit. Either way, it means it's trying to push something too thick and stodgy through the nozzle, and it's either because the paint is too thick or the pressure isn't high enough. But the first thing to do is just strip it down and give it a clean out, just to make sure it's not paint stuck in there. That's about as simple as you can boil that one down. I think there's no real, you can't really get more simple than that.
It's just about keep going and practicing.
Yep.
Yeah.
The best PSI will depend on your airbrush and your hose and everything else, and the quality of it. But generally, 12 to 15 for thin things, regular acrylic paints 15 to 20, and primers 25 to 30, and that's about it. 20-25 for primers. Just make sure it's the consistency of skimmed milk. That's it. Don't worry about 10% thinner and 10% fluid. Skim milk. There you go. Vallejo air paints are already that thin, so they're fine. But just have fun with it.
Ron Mac 95 says he just wanted to say thanks to the eModels guys at packing. He bought an E-type jag and some paints, and they were packed beautifully. Those guys could fit a square peg in a round hole. Yes, they do it for a living, so they got quite good at it by now.
Just one thing I meant to add to that. Sorry about the last question. When he says paint splatter, he doesn't explain whether he means it kind of goes like that or whether it's spiders. And it does actually depend on that. If you're getting paint that's just going like that and you're getting blobs of paint everywhere, that's the paint's too thick. If you're getting spiders where you get a circle of paint and little legs coming off it because it's going like that and it looks like that, that's your paint's too thin or your pressure's too high. So if you're getting spiders, your paint's too thin, or drop the pressure, because if it's a very thin paint, you need a lower pressure. Or if it's splats and splodges, then it's too thick or too high a pressure. Or not enough pressure, sorry. Next. It's a difficult thing to explain on a live stream quickly without, it's hard to.
Anders says about his problem with his Panzer. He broke some hinges on a couple of the hatches that he drilled out. It happened when he was shading the turret and knocked it off the rotating paint stand. All right, so the whole kit fell over and broke some hinges. Oops.
Hinge.
Hopefully repairable though.
Oh yeah, I remember drilling those hinges. Never again.
You say that, and then you'll end up doing another one.
Yeah, it was a great. It was nice to do. It was a good kit to do, but I'd do it differently next time.
Yeah, because Ted's the one that says, "I'm never going to build another big kit like that," and then he does the Titanic.
Yeah, yeah. I think the Panzer IV was a good kit to build because it was big, it was a bit like the Oshkosh. It was big. It's a big kit, lots of detail in it, and it was big enough to put on a bench. You can still put it on a bench. The Titanic is a big kit that's bigger than a bench. That makes it difficult. It's like I've gone the wrong way. I should have gone back to building big kits that are compact, because the U-boat, although that was a big kit, was built compartmentalized, so you could just build each section at a time. Then it all goes together and it becomes a big kit. But the Titanic,
it's just a big kit.
It's
We
just
have
a big kit.
we have a very, very important question from Anders.
I saw that.
And I've got this horrible feeling you may have already answered it and asked it, and I've not been paying attention.
No,
It says,
we
question. Okay, it says, question. I got myself a tin of golden syrup. What should I use it for?
Gingerbread.
Everything. Eat it.
Just
with
get a
your face.
spoon. Just go get a spoon. Go now. Go get a spoon, and just eat it.
Whenever you would normally use maple syrup or honey, use, like, if you've got some cereal, drizzle some of that over the cereal. If you're making a cake, put it in the cake.
Yeah, I thought it was tomorrow, but it's actually next week. Pancake day next week, isn't it?
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
In the UK.
Pancake Tuesday next week. So even if you're in America, you can celebrate Pancake Tuesday. Pancakes, golden syrup.
Ron Max saying it's an H&S Ultra airbrush with Badger compressor, and it's Spiders using Tamiya paints.
Oh, spiders. In that case, your paint is too thin.
Yeah.
So you just need to not have it that thin. To me, it's quite tricky because you can either get it just right or just completely wrong. I usually find with Tamiya pots, if you get the pot brand new, take the lid off and add thinner to about where the thread starts on the screw top. If it's the 10mm pot,
You've got to use Tamiya's thinner though.
Yeah, you don't have. Well, you can use alcohol as well, but I would recommend Tamiya X28. If you've got the pot where the thread is here, fill it up to just before the thread starts with thinner. That's about the maximum you want. That's often about right, but it can vary. The metallics like chrome silver and gunmetal are an absolute nightmare because the pigments in them are the flake in them is so big. But yeah, if you're getting spiders, it just means you've got it too thin. So you can either drop the pressure quite a lot, and that might get rid of the spidering. It'll still be a bit too thin, but you can build it up slowly it'll be a very clear, transparent glaze coat. You can still work with that if you've over thinned it. Just drop the pressure right down, and then build it up really slowly in thin coats, and hold the airbrush a bit further away. Because what's happening is you've got a really thin paint and it's jetting out the airbrush at too high a pressure and going like that and making the spiders everywhere. So it's normally just that it's too thin, but you can also drop your pressure down and pull back on from the model a little bit.
I don't think eModels sell any paint thicker.
No.
It'd be quite useful, but yeah.
Sometimes when I do that and you make thin paint too thin, I sit there and think, there must be something I can add to thicken it up. There must be a paint thickener product somewhere. How come Ammo hasn't come up with it yet? But yeah, you can still work with it. You can, if you've got another pot of the same paint, just add more paint to it. If you've mixed it and you've got it in a separate container or something, just add more paint to it.
Doesn't glycerine act as a thickener?
I don't know how that would react with the Tamiya paint though.
EC Idaho's saying he would love to have our mugs stroke cartoons on cups.
It might have. It's not been said. No, we're never going to do it. But other things came along, and the world got caught on fire.
Absolutely, well caught on fire, and
yeah. Well, with Pete, mate, it's more like other things came along, like he blinks.
Yeah.
Or
so you could have one of us looking at you on your breakfast table when you go up first thing in the morning.
Yeah, we'll all be there with the finger of shame like that in the car.
You can have a selection of mugs. You can have all of us, or one of us, one with a finger of shame on it, or one with slap it on. Or
do you think they could do it so it could be the picture of us, and when you put the hot drink in it, the finger of shame appears?
No, I was going to say it should be the other way around. It should be. We should start off with like grumpy look, finger of shame, but when the coffee goes in, we go yeah. Oh, can you imagine? Oh, someone needs to invent animated cups. Can you imagine a coffee mug with an animated design on it? Oh, that needs to happen.
Well, you could frighten your guests, couldn't you? You could have us at the bottom of the mug, so when they've drank the tea and they look in the bottom, there's one of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit better than just putting a dead thing in the bottom of the teacup, I suppose. There was a very important answer to Anders' question, and I've lost it. Yeah, Dave Cardboard says he could make flapjacks with it. golden syrup. He says,
Oh,
flapjacks,
yeah.
dead easy, Google it. Dad does remind everybody in chat, because he had to deal with some comments, please don't mention other retailers in the chat. Yeah, please don't mention other retailers. This is an eModels store for eModels.co.uk, your one-stop shop for all your model making needs.
Or else you'll get the finger of shame.
Finger of shame. Or you'll just get the comment of deleted.
Oh, where are we up
Let's have
to?
a look. Do.
EC
Try some food,
saying-
Adam.
Yeah. EC saying to Ted that he'd love to have you glaring at me from in the bottom of the cup. Love the finger of shame idea.
Yeah, Mad Brent says, Ron Mac, just keep your paint nice and thin like milk with Tamiya use thinners. Yeah, use Tamiya X20A. You can use isopropyl alcohol. You can use any acrylic paint thinners because they're alcohol based. Tamiya paints are just like, they're a bit like lacquers, but they're alcohol based. They're not quite acrylics, but you can use alcohol with them. Just don't use water. Don't thin them with water because that's just, you don't ever do that. Don't thin any paint with water for airbrush. Can you not use corn flour to the paint to thicken it? Asks Ron Mack. My missus uses it to thicken the gravy. I thought that once, I thought, can we not put corn flour in it? It depends how it makes the paint behave once it's on the model. So probably it would look a bit messy, I think.
Yeah, just because you can do something with gravy doesn't mean it's it'll work with paint.
Yeah. You'd probably end up trying to airbrush a non-Newtonian fluid, which it may be fun and interesting and scientifically quite
Now,
fascinating.
I've got me wondering what happened now, because it's not an impact. But it is being compressed to go through a nozzle,
Yeah.
so no, it probably
But
wouldn't work.
But with a non-Newtonian fluid, if you compress it,
Yeah,
becomes
it's
more like
solid.
solid. Yeah. So it's like that's why you can walk across custard if you'd get it.
that means it would come out your airbrush when you weren't putting air into the airbrush, but as soon as you put air in, it'd stop.
Stop. that's like negative energy, isn't it? When you push something, it goes that way. I played some. I did play a little bit of Warhammer once. We were playing a race game with orc vehicles, and that had like non-Newtonian missiles. Because at one point I'm in a flyer and there's a guy in a car, and I fired the missile from my flyer at the guy's car, and the way we rolled the dice, the car went that way, and ricocheted backwards, and I'm like, and hit my flyer, and I'm like, how did he? I push him that way, and he comes back. I don't. So clearly that orc flyer missile included cornstarch.
And my chat has just jumped again, so I've totally lost where we're at. Do apologise if we haven't got round to your comments this evening, but we are trying our best.
Mark Dale says, tried corn flour. When I came back in the morning, the model had doubled in size.
Yeah.
You put the model in a jar and it kind of oozes up over the top and keeps on going. Phil Lewis says, Anders, with the golden syrup, you get a nice bowl of porridge or oatmeal. Grab a dessert spoon of syrup, let the first blob of syrup drop in the middle of the porridge, and then let it spiral outwards. I've developed a real liking for oatmeal because I'm on a health kick, so I just get oatmeal in a pan, water, big chunk of not butter, little dash of salt, maybe some honey.
Phil Lewis has got an alternative suggestion. He says, get a big bowl of porridge, take a big spoon of golden syrup, push the bowl of porridge to one side and put the syrup straight in your mouth.
Yeah. You may or may not still have teeth by the end of the pot of golden syrup, but...
Lee Barrett says, we need eModels t-shirts with I've had the finger of shame written on the front.
Yeah.
I've been fingered. No, we don't do that. No.
Yeah, that might be. I don't know about that one.
I'd always have eModels builders t-shirts.
Oh,
Yeah, collect the set, like Green Shield stamps. You could
Yeah.
collect the set.
Stuart Tucker does say, easy to fix thin paint, add more paint.
Yeah, it's a good shout.
It's always the
Over
best
there.
solution. We're up to... People are getting quite aggressive at Adam for not eating.
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
the Raging
Well, that's
Modeler.
justifiable.
Yeah, you need to eat, dude. That
Come
beard
on,
isn't
dude.
going to just do anything by itself without foods.
Have something to eat, mate. Come on.
Go onto the internet, which you happen to be on right now. Do some magic finger typing, and if you do it just right, a little man will appear with a bag full of edible items that you can put into the hole in your face.
Then you can tell us about it.
You could have udon, you could have curry, you could have fish and chips, you could have kebab.
Yeah.
Burgers,
Mackie D.
pizzas.
Kebab.
Oh,
Yeah. But if you don't, you'll get the finger of shame.
Yeah. If you don't, you'll get the ambulance of shame.
Yeah.
If you don't too much.
Lee Barrett says he could have a T-shirt wearing "I won a mug," or for the weeks that we don't give anything away, you could say "I won nothing."
Yeah.
Yeah, we could have an "I won nothing" T-shirt.
Yeah.
We could do a T-shirt that just, a special one for Colin's edition that just says "I won" and a little thing that says, "Look at the post-it note."
Yeah. Nothing. Yeah.
Nothing. Anders says, "I would also have to step up on my diabetic pills after a spoon of syrup."
Yeah.
Yeah. You do need to just try a little bit. It's the flavour that makes golden syrup. It's something. If you had a big spoonful of it, it probably you can actually get like that kind of like. You don't actually get burnt, but it has that kind of. You've had something too rich, and you get that kind of slight burn in your throat.
Yeah,
It's that kind of thing, so you can't have too much of it.
Yeah, after last week's show, I happened to look in the cupboard and found 2 big tins of golden syrup.
And what have you done with it?
Two tins of treacle as well.
What have you done with it? What have you done with the golden
She
syrup?
made Mrs. Ted made some gingerbread the other day. Sort of big gingerbread, which is now all gone.
I went shopping during the week after the show last week and couldn't find any tins of syrup. I couldn't. I don't know if people have been shopping because they've been watching.
Yeah, it's actually in the sugar section. Did you look in the sugar section?
I looked everywhere. Yeah.
Looked
Looked in home baking. I looked in. Yeah.
If I go into a store, if I just want a happiness section that just sells like noodles, golden syrup, pot noodles, and just oatmeal. And
have you been down the Foxx aisle?
Yeah, the Foxx aisle. Everything's dangerous, but fun.
And as for the treacle, I've put a request in for some bonfire toffee.
Oh, have you got a hammer? Little ball peen hammer?
Yeah, got a hammer.
Toffee hammer.
Is it time for the thing? The what's it? The number 3 people have been asking about.
Yes, it's coming around. It's coming around to that time again. Where tonight it's Colin's turn for the what's in store.
He hasn't prepped yet, so we'll give him a chance to prep.
I'll do a share screen.
I thought earlier I hadn't seen it, but then something in chat reminded me that I had seen it.
Yeah.
So yes, so here it is.
Yeah,
jumped in quick.
nice, difficult one for.
Before Colin starts with that, we should really do the terms and conditions thing because we're doing a thing with this one, aren't we?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, didn't we?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll remove that again.
Doing that, it's Foxx doing it. Sorry, I've got
It's always Foxx.
my glasses on Zoom.
I know you got excited. We'll let Foxx do his terms and conditions thing first.
Oh,
Yes.
mate, honestly, it's doing my head in.
It's giveaway time. I don't know what this means. It seems relevant. That's wrong, but this is right. It's giveaway time. It's time for one of us, in this case, Colin. Ted's doing his power walking skiing thing again. Little butt cheeks going like that as he motors along the main road.
I don't want to think about that. No.
Yeah, you want to see me in spandex on the.
Oh no! La 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 la.
Burnt in the back of my retinas.
Happy thoughts.
No.
Anyway, yeah, cool wet grass.
Gold
Yes. So
spandex.
anyway, there's a woman that goes around here, and she every time I like the last 10 years, every time I go out in the morning, usually about 8 in the morning, I assume walking to work, but she does power walking. So she's like 3 foot tall, and she walks like this. Like and her legs just go bzzz, and she's doing about 35 miles an hour, but her feet are moving that much, so she's kind of going bzzz, and it's just like
Dude, I'd have to have the Benny Hill music on my phone and just go.
Are you sure she's not on a skateboard?
no, because you can see her feet. It's like one of them, like, you know, the little toys, little robot toys where the feet just go like that.
Yeah,
And it's just, but so she's literally, and it's like, I'm sure it might be doing you good, but you just she's been doing it for years. I'm like, I just stay in bed, love. It's a lot easier.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes. So I'm pulling bits of plastic off my chair here. Yes, it's what's in store time. Now this week we have a theme and we have a mug to give away. I
yes.
don't know what this gesture means.
Is it an eModels mug?
Ted, did somebody press the button?
No, I didn't. I can. I will because everyone seems to be waiting for it. So
We're all paused waiting.
today we are giving away.
eModels mug, eModels mug.
He had one job.
eModels mug.
I like the fact that me and Ted were out of sync there, like in and out.
Yeah. Is the button pressed now?
It has been pressed and played through and finished again now. Yeah.
Yes. So it is that time when we do the giveaways. No, not the giveaways. We're doing the what's in store. But like I say, there is a mug giveaway. So what's going to happen is Colin's going to go through all the fine items that he's found in store today for you.
Yeah,
All
right.
the fine, delightful items. And there is an theme. Now, it's Colin's store, so it's going to be really easy.
Absolutely.
So basically, what we want you to do is shut up until Colin comes back to you at the end of the what's in store and says, what's the theme for tonight? Go. And if you answer before he says go in chat, we're going to point at you and laugh and you won't win. But we'll give you the finger of shame. Or the slightly framey finger of shame in Chris's case. So yes, so don't answer in chat. You're just going to give the answer over for somebody else. Don't answer until Colin comes back and says, what is the theme? The first person in chat to get the answer right on our chat, remember, we see the chat differently. You're not necessarily first if you're first in your chat. It just means it's first at your end. The first person we have in our chat, who is the first one to get it correctly, will win an eModels mug.
An eModels mug. An eModels mug.
An eModels
mug.
An eModels mug.
Yeah, so you'll win. You won't get all the brushes in it though.
Without the crack.
Contents not included.
Yeah, no brushes and no crack inside it. We tend not to do brushes and hard drugs, but so we'll give you one of those and we'll get that sent to you. So I shall pass it over to Colin, but remember, don't put your answer in chat until Colin comes back and says go. If you do it before then, we're just going to mock you mercilessly.
Absolutely. And it's a nice, easy one this time after the one that Chris gave us.
You probably don't need to read any of the words on the screen, probably. Or you might, in the description, anything like that.
Well, last week was really difficult, wasn't it, for folks? And I'll go for my reading of goodness, folks. On this one, the first one is an MPC 125th Willis panel van paddy wagon, Monopoly edition, folks.
I like that just purely for the fairing round the engine. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's just something about it that caught me eye, to be quite honest. And this was the one that started me going tonight, because I did a little paddy wagon build, and and there's even a little video of it there.
That's quite mint, though, isn't it?
And it's the 33 Willis panel paddy wagon gasser, and it's the Monopoly.
Not quite sure what the point of the Monopoly icons all over it are. That doesn't.
It's the 85th anniversary, innit, of Monopoly, the board game. Go straight to jail, innit? You know, that sort of thing. I've got no other blurb because the tracking stuff's coming up on my browser.
But if you hit F5, it might refresh it, but maybe not.
Yeah, but I'm worried that I'll lose all the others then. Cause
you might open other things that we don't need to see.
And it's made by MPC. It's a 25th scale, and it is £44.99, folks.
That's pretty good.
Absolutely. Next up, now I can remember seeing these bad boys around about the late 80s, and it's a historic car series that Ashikawa are doing, and it's a 24th scale Nissan Bluebird 4-door sedan, SS Asetta Limited, whatever, and it's from early 1987.
Now, see, whenever we saw a Nissan Bluebird around here, it wasn't that one; it was the crappy one that was somebody's taxi.
Yeah, the tissue box on the back shelf.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure my parents had a Nissan Bluebird.
They were brilliant. The Nissan cars were brilliant cars at the time because they had all the extras, whereas you had to go to and pay extra to have like electric windows in a Ford Cortina.
Yeah.
You still wind them down. These had the electric windows as standard.
Absolutely.
Sort of a CD, well, not CD player because they were too early. But,
Chris has clearly not realised that he's actually being watched by the entire world here.
Absolutely.
I was, but I've just been handed some glasses to repair. Otherwise, my wife can't watch the stream if she's not got glasses.
Oh, right.
So,
yeah, I mean, they had the Nissan Bluebird, and we had the Morris Ital and the Austin Montego, didn't we? I mean,
now the question is, I know this is a proper drifty type spanky Nissan Bluebird, but does it come with the optional bead thing for the driver's seat?
Well, I would have to do the beaded seat cover and the little decorated tissue box on the back shelf.
And cushions. Yeah, they always had cushions in the back, didn't they?
Yeah, the little booster cushions.
But if you grew up in the 1980s, in the
ordinary cushions that they took your mum or the auntie took off the seat cushions in the back.
Trail on with the tassels.
But yeah, if you grew up in the 80s in the UK, you know about every Nissan always had a beaded seat cushion in the
Yeah,
the driver's seat.
And the person would be driving it like that, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Looking through the spokes of the steering wheel on.
Yeah, because they're about 3.5 foot tall.
That's the ones.
Everybody I knew that owned a Nissan when I was in the 80s was like 3 foot tall.
Yeah.
So you just see like the top of a head sticking up over the top of the door.
Like that.
You see about...
I think they even had the advert, didn't they, with fake wood trim. It was actually said fake wood trim.
Well, yeah, I mean, I had to check because I thought, like, Tomorrow's World, we had the world's first driverless car because, like you say, you never saw the driver, did you? Just saw a tuft.
Or you just see his hands sticking up over there, be like, is there somebody in there?
Yes,
Are these children driving these cars?
all the drivers had the driver gloves with the checkerboard on the back, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. Little voice from inside, you call a taxi?
EC Idaho said he owned a Nissan Stanza hatchback.
Oh, really?
Stanza, good God.
Yeah, next up, is a Games Workshop one, Fox, and oh my God, look at the name of it. It's Games Workshop Demons of Cinch, is that? Blue Horrors?
Yep, Cinch. Close enough.
That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
And it's a load of gobbly doodly type blokes.
See, yep, Cinch is one of the Chaos Gods, and Blue Horrors are just like demons that are associated with Cinch. I don't know what the other things are behind because I can't quite zoom in and see that. Make it bigger for people to see. If you click on that, Col, can you zoom?
Click on it.
It might not.
On it and it's doing now. Looks like fire.
If you click on it, it should.
Yeah, I am clicking on it. It's doing.
Yeah,
nothing.
it might not.
Is it? Oh, okay, might not then.
Yeah.
It could be fire. I don't know enough about demons of Cinch to know
Yeah.
what. I think they might be fiery.
Yeah,
things.
they look like fiery blokes.
Some sort of fire sprite or something. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah.
But
So
if you're fielding a chaos army, or even if you're playing some of the Blackstone Fortressy types game, they have blue horror. Oh no, they're blue horrors, aren't they? Not demons of Cinch. Different thing. Shut up, Fox.
Hey mate, I'm happy you're keeping going because I know diddly squat, but I thought for item number 3 it had to be something Games Workshop, didn't it?
Yeah, it's got to be something.
In anticipation of it being your thing next week. So
Oh yeah, next week it might be all Games Workshop. Or it might...
Yeah, you'll have to do that. Next up, folks, we've got an Italieri 124th Iveco Highway 40th anniversary truck, and yeah, it's a big truck. It's yeah.
Festa's detailed description. Yes, a big truck.
It is though, isn't it?
It's a thing. What?
At the end of the day, it's a big tractor unit, and I'm sure that
You're a big tractor unit.
A living, yeah, you can pimp the living daylights out of that. And having built a few of these types of trucks myself, they do go together really well, folks. So, yeah,
There was a big truck in town in our town just down the road from me the other day. Hit the railway bridge, but it didn't.
right.
It didn't just wedge over. It wedged underneath it. It fell over.
Oh, really?
How do you not know? Surely if you're driving a big truck, you know how big it is. And you see the signs that say, that's smaller than me, I won't go that way.
The bridge is painted bright yellow and orange and things like that, and with height warnings on it. There's a video of it. The truck hit the bridge and fell over on its side.
Because there is a bridge that's got its own YouTube channel, isn't it, where so many trucks keep hitting it that they've had to modify it and lift up the train line, and people still hit it. And
that's in the US. They raised it by a few inches.
Yeah, they raised it. And people still do it. Yeah.
I was going to say something then, but I forgot what it was.
But no, these really do go together well, folks. And if you are a truck driver or you like your tractor units and that, you can.
Graham M says about those demons of Cinch. She says it looks like on the big telly, it looks like flames. They may be flamey effects.
Yeah.
Mark Dale says number 3 for once. My son will be pleased.
Absolutely.
I'm less so, he says.
Absolutely.
And AC Idaho, going back to when we were talking about Nissans and little tiny people driving, he says, "Hey, I'm all of 5'2". And Dave Cardboard says, "Genuine imitation leather."
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was red hot. In the summer it was freezing cold, and in the winter it was freezing cold, and in the summer if you got it in your shorts, you just had scald birds on you.
Oh yeah. When I When I got my Series 3 Land Rover, the first time I got in it on a summer's day with shorts, I was transported back to like 1977 and my dad's Hillman Imp, and I'm like, oh, I forgot vinyl seats.
Driver's chair would have the beaded seat cover, and they would have a crushed velvet seat cover on the passenger side for the wife.
Yeah. Mark Dale says, why couldn't it be the big truck? Well, the big truck can be your number 3 if you want, Mark.
Absolutely. It caught me eye, that. And like
Now,
I say, they are...
We did forget to say, by the way, we don't know how many of each of these they have in stock. There could be 100 of them. There could be one. So if any of these do take your fancy, what you need to do is...
Slap it in your basket.
That was all quiet and everything. That was like Jazz FM.
Impressive, wasn't it?
Yeah, so...
Slap it in your basket.
Yeah, that was a bit too loud. Yeah,
That was a bit...
New eardrum on R5.
Third surgery room, open now, please. Yeah, so if you do fancy something, get it in your basket, and remember...
It's not yours till you check it out.
Exactly, yeah. There may only be, say, if there's one in stock and somebody else pays for it first, you've lost it. So if any of these take your fancy, get it in your basket and get it checked out ASAP. And that way you can make sure you have it. Do feel free. We do. The guys do tell us that when they do these, they sell out of a lot of these quite quickly. So don't hang around. Spend some money.
Absolutely.
I said that out loud, didn't I?
You did.
Never mind. Moving on.
Are you done?
It's the bear in the big blue truck. What? No, that's the wrong thing.
Absolutely. So next up, we've got on this is car lovers will love this. It's the 1/12 scale Meng Ford GT40 Mark II number 66 limited edition.
1/12 scale. That's going to be massive.
It's huge.
Yeah, it's people might be sort of worried about the price point on it, but look at the detail.
Yeah, it's a 1/12 scale car. It's
got everything, including the kitchen sink, and look at the detail on that.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing you get as a part work for like £1,000. So.
There's going to be car enthusiasts out there that will see this and they'll fall in love with it. And it's there'll be GT40.
There'll be a few automotive trouser tents occurring around about now, I think.
Absolutely. See, I didn't know whether I could say that, so I was trying to avoid saying about it.
Well, I don't know, but I'm saying it anyway because it's gentlemanly. But no, it's one of those. This is one of those kits that it's the same that you get your Tamiya 1/9 scale bikes for a couple of £100 because they've got all the bit. This is the same kind of thing, but it's a car, and plus it's a GT40 anyway, which is I'm not into cars, but even I know this is a hot damn car.
It is an iconic piece of automotive trouser tentage.
Yep, Zadster says lovely.
It is, and I just thought that I would add that in there so that people could see it. And it's in
not often you actually see 1/12 scale car kits that aren't just remote control kits.
And I fell in love with that, seeing that. So
Graham M says, "Oh my, a GT40." Just leave in chat for a sec, so someone is going to slap it in their
I'm going to
basket.
just leave that on screen, folks, so that you can just gush.
Graham McRobert says that one would be my stash at some point.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
That is awesome, says Phil East.
Yeah, being Meng or Mong, it'd be a good kit as well.
Yep,
absolutely. So
we should note, of course, that it's actually pronounced Mong or Mong.
Yeah,
is it? I don't know.
Yeah, I did give the alternatives.
You know that own schooling you was on about earlier, Ted?
Mm.
Can I book myself a lesson on reading?
On Chinese pronunciation.
Yeah. Imagine Ted will go, I'll give up with a bloke. He can't be taught anything.
He can't be taught nothing.
Yeah. Last up, folks, we've got the Trumpeter 1/700 scale USS Blue Ridge. Funny noise.
It can't just be me hearing Laurel and Hardy in my head right now.
Yeah.
No, singing
the mountains.
Yeah.
In the
Oh, yeah.
Ridge
That's it.
Mountain.
And this is a nice little 1/700 USS Blue Ridge
Trumpeter too.
Trumpeter kit. And for the price, $18.89, I think that's pretty much,
It's 1/100 scale, so any Gumpler builders out there...
It is 1/700 scale.
It's 1/700.
Oh, is it? It's tiny on my screen.
That would be 7 times smaller than you just thought.
Okay, so for all you Gumpler builders out there, forget it, it's not relevant.
Absolutely, mate. But I just thought, for under £20, it's a nice little kit. And if you haven't built a ship before, you can have a go, and you could probably do it with a bit of the old seascape going on and test your skills out. So,
Plus, it's a trumpeter, and trumpeters do some very nice boats and ships.
oh yeah, and someone somewhere is bound to have a bit of aftermarket for it. So have a look in the aftermarket.
I mean, at 20 quid, I probably suspect that doesn't come with any photo etch.
Absolutely, mate.
No.
So I'll just quickly run through them again, folks, just so you can see the GT40 again. First up was the MPC 125th Willis panel van, paddy wagon. Next up, you had the Ashigawa Nissan Bluebird.
Granddad's taxi.
Then you had the Games Workshop Demons of Cinch Blue Walrus.
Clear enough.
Italieri 24th Highway Anniversary Edition. Oh, GT40, 112 scale.
Zasta says that was called a GT40 because it was 40 inches high.
That's correct, mate.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah,
you was
and also
really tall,
which
they
was
used to put
not-
a bubble in the door.
Yeah, which was not tall enough for Jeremy Clarkson.
No, exactly.
His dream car, and he couldn't get in it.
Absolutely. And last up was the Trumpeter 1700 scale USS Blue Ridge.
I think what you should do, Colin, just to give people some excuses, is just slide that GT40 to the third tab. Just slide it along to slot number 3, just so somebody can say, "Well, I have to buy it, love, because it's in it's number 3 now."
Yeah, number 1 was that. Number 2 was that. Number 3 was that.
Cashier number 3, please.
But all the blokes are sitting there. Don't take it off screen, Cole. So I'm going to stop sharing and come back to you all.
All the blokes are sitting there saying, "I'm not going to get up for a minute."
Absolutely.
I think we should ask Jim tomorrow how many people bought the GT40. Was there any
Well, it
sale?
is actually on there as a pre-order, I did notice, so it's not actually available yet.
Yeah. It's on there as a pre-order, mate, because it's an upcoming release.
Even better than
I think
order it and time to save up for it.
Absolutely.
upcoming release FNAF.
Absolutely. So hopefully you've refreshed and dragged. So for your chance to win said eMoggles.
Muggles? Muggles?
Yeah, Muggles. So for your chance to win an eModels mug, go.
What's the theme? Do. Yeah, slapping that GT40 in the basket, says Mark Dell. I warned the missus I was coming back tonight. It was going to be expensive. Good girl.
Yeah, welcome back, Mark.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And first up there, folks, was Red Lead 08 with blue.
That did jump a lot then, didn't
That
it?
chat just went...
I did notice a lot more people answered that than answered mine last week.
Yeah, you went really hard, didn't you? You did, but yeah. In case you didn't hear it, folks, Redlen 08. Got it right.
Out of interest there, Colin, I just wondered if Dad had answered it, whether...
I haven't seen him
don't
answer.
think
No,
he
it's strange,
will,
that.
because I might have been ribbing him that his red team got beat by a blue team, and yeah, that was...
Yeah. So, funnily enough, Scaly Models was strangely mute on that one.
Yeah, he didn't even bother answering. I wonder why.
For those that don't know, Dad also knows Scaly Models in chat. If it's not red, he doesn't care. He
No,
doesn't want to know.
that's right. He can't even look at the word, can he?
No. So, Redlen08, well done. You've won yourself an mug. All you need to do is send an email to ted@emodels.co.uk. It's up there somewhere. ted@emodels.co.uk. Send us your name, your address,
That way.
I don't know what this means, and a contact phone number just in case the delivery guy needs it. We always ask for one. So your name, address, and phone number. Put in the title that you've won a mug. Send it to Ted. Ted will forward that on to the guys at eModels, and they'll get a mug sent out to you ASAP. Well done.
Yeah. Absolutely, mate.
Do feel free to put a picture up of your mug full of delicious coffee. Tea is not permitted on the eModels Facebook page. When you
At least as you just saw Dad run past his house with a baseball bat.
Was he heading towards Colin's house?
Yeah, he's coming towards my house. I've already told the wife that if she sees an angry man with a Scouse accent running towards the house with a bat, don't let him in.
Yeah.
Good
Yes.
for them.
I don't think folks need me to explain that, do they?
EC
No, I think
Idaho
we've got
said,
away with that.
I think EC Idaho's got one in his basket as well. 'Cause he says, "Yeah, me too. I was too awed by the GT40." I think you did well with that one there, Col.
Yeah. It is that GT40. I mean, yeah, it's isn't it?
See, I didn't even know Mong did vehicle kits. Never mind big, small scale kits like
Yeah,
that. So.
they're quite limited. They're going to do a few in that scale. So
No,
Like
no, in
legendary
Mong,
cars.
no, in Meng, Mong, whatever you call it, they'll do a little chibi one of it.
Yeah, that'd be the fun one. Yeah.
Oh, little ickle chibi
I'd
G.
build that one.
You know what you need to do, Cole. What you need to do specifically, because you like your little Arduino boards. You need to get a little Meng Toon tank,
Yeah.
and you need to motorize it, but you need to give it an Arduino board so it also makes the Jetsons car noise when it moves around.
That sounds like a plan.
That'd be a perfect Toon tank, I think. That. Yeah. Phillies wants a 1/24th version now.
I know it's. Oh, I've still got it on my other monitor, and I'm like, oh, yeah. I can't bring myself to close it down.
I heard that rumor.
Good.
Isn't there a thing as well this week?
There is. I was just before we started the what's in store. There was a question that Swampy Steve asked. I haven't seen Swampy Steve either.
Hello, Swampy Steve.
Yeah, so welcome to the chat.
New
Swampy.
name in the chat.
Yeah, I do still hope you're here to hear the answer to your question. It's hi guys, looking for a pistol grip airbrush that's solvent safe. Any recommendations? I think Foxx, you're the man for that.
Yes, the Neo 40 Water TRN1. I think it's the TRN1. Yes, Neo 40 Water TRN1. It's the new ones now are solvent safe. Mine is an old one. It wasn't solvent safe. It should be solvent safe. Trigger action. It's a 0.35 nozzle, but you can get a kit to add a 0.5mm stock and nozzle and needle. But I find it's perfect as an all-rounder with a 0.35. I adore this. I've got limited. I can't move the end of my fingers. That's why I've got funky fingertips. Funny. I can't bend the end, so I get very limited movement. So I can't be doing with nonsense button mushroom type airbrushes. So that for me is super comfortable. I can spray with this for hours and hours and hours and not get comfortable, and I can hold it comfortably at a certain level of paint and air because it's dual action. So yeah, the TRN1 is a beautiful, beautiful airbrush. This is my everything. The only thing I don't spray in this is like, I don't know, the occasional enamel, because this is an old one that's not solvent safe. So I
Doesn't spray maple syrup and golden syrup with it, do you?
No.
I could spray golden syrup with it, but it'd be a waste of the golden syrup that was stayed inside there. I wouldn't be able to get my entire tongue in there to get it all out. So
You'd be like that.
I'd be like, inject it into my veins. So yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. One bit of advice with these: the little rubber seal that you get on the paint cup with every Iwata airbrush, that will perish and explode after about a week. Don't worry about it. You don't need it.
No.
I've not had one on there for about 5-6 years. Yeah, I use this for everything. One or two things I don't use it for.
So just to clarify, the new ones are solvent safe.
Yeah.
This is about 6 years old when they weren't when they first came out.
Yeah, the
but
one
new
I've
ones are
got,
solvent
it's got
safe.
the new seals in it. Yeah.
Yeah, so they are. Yeah, so they're just, trust me, it's just, I love it. And there's not a lot of people that do trigger airbrushes aside from like that one and a lot of real ropey Chinese knockoff types you get on eBay, which I wouldn't even bother wasting your money on because they'll just be breaking after a week. So, yeah, Neo for Water TRN. Tango Romeo November 1. I don't know if they have them in stock, but if you can't see it on the website, it may just be out of stock. So if you need to chase one up, just drop them an email or send them you fill out the contact form and just say, can you let me know when you'll get them back in stock, because they'll be able to get them back in stock fairly quickly. So yeah, that's your best bet.
Just as well, you mentioned contacting eModels. As you know, they are quite busy at the moment, so please try not to contact them unnecessarily with phone calls or anything. Well, I don't think the phones are being answered just at the moment. They're going to the machine.
Right now the phone is just turned off, and it will be for some time. If you phone the phone line now, you get an automated message saying, yeah, we're not answering the phone, mate. So I know they are because I recorded it. Right now, because of lockdown, there's only James in there, and he's taking hundreds of orders a day and having to get them packed and picked. So right now, as we said before, the priority for James in there is to get your order packed, picked, and shipped out. I nearly said something else then, which wouldn't be family friendly. I'm thinking of Peter Kay. Booked it, packed it, and I went. So so his priority is to get your orders packed, picked, and gone. But there are also delays from the couriers. If he's spending time doing emails, he's not spending time picking orders and packing orders. So if you do need to email them, please try and keep it to being an absolute emergency. Please don't mail them saying, what colour do you recommend for this, or you know, stuff like that they would normally have to take time to answer. What do you recommend paint for this model, or that kind of thing.
And if you do email them asking them about, for instance, an airbrush question or anything like that, give them a bit of time to answer it. Don't hassle them straight away and say, I emailed you yesterday and you haven't answered yet.
Yeah. It might be a few days before you. If it's an urgent thing, they'll deal with it as quickly as they can. If it's a thing like, what paints do you recommend for this model, they may answer you.
Groups they can ask us, can't they?
Yeah, they may answer you eventually, but it's not a priority right now. They need to get orders packed and picked. But keep in mind, it's a model shop, not a Facebook model painting group. So they'll do the best. But if you've got a question like how, you know, what paint do I need for this, that, and the other? What colours do you recommend for this tank or something? There's probably better places you can get those answers without having to, you know, put the guys under pressure. So do be considerate of the fact they've got a billion orders, because everybody's ordering stuff, but there's only James there and he's doing his best. So do be patient with them.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, right, good. Right, we've got a thing next, haven't we?
Yes.
Yes. Right. Let's see if I can do this.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
Oh dear.
Right.
Ted's got to do his own thing on the telly.
Chris,
Right.
Ted's got buttons.
Yeah,
Right,
I'm just
and
sitting back quietly and
we'll just
a
wait
little
for
bit
Ted to fall
nervous.
out and then fall back in again.
I don't share my screen yet because I haven't found
I'm
it.
not pressing any buttons at all. I'm going to sit here quietly and eat my fingers just in case you do it wrong.
I'm pulling my brim down so I can't see what's happening.
Yeah, we're all sitting here. It's not us. Ted's in
Right,
control, folks.
how do you share the screen then? Do that?
Did you want me to press the button, Ted?
No, I'll do. I think I found the button now.
It's the second one from the
There
right.
we
There you
go.
go.
Good man.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
there we go. Yes, we've got a giveaway this week.
Giveaway.
Yes, we've managed to track James down and got him to send us along a giveaway. This is a new from Revell. It's a Revell 172nd McDonnell Douglas FA18 Hornet Top Gun. It says. I can't remember. Top Gun with
It's Maverick.
It's not the Top Gun, you know. It's the new Top Gun.
Yeah, it's the new
I thought it
one
looked a
where
bit
he's
modern.
a pilot trainer. Yeah.
right.
It looks like. Why does it look like it's wearing a swimming costume or something? It's
Yeah, I couldn't work it out.
does the canopy go all the way to the back, or is it just a canopy with black? I don't quite understand. Oh,
there's the canopy there,
Yeah.
and the rest of it's a black streak.
I've got to tell you, the American Air Force, they've really lost their aircraft painting game in the last 10 years. They really-
I don't know. I think that looks quite cool. I like that.
Yeah, it looks a bit Jerry Anderson to me. It looks a bit.
Yeah,
it
it's
looks
nothing wrong with that. You say that like it's a bad thing.
It's like a swimming costume or something. It doesn't really.
It looks fine. I don't want to see you
Badly
wearing that swimming
applied
costume.
mankini.
There's not a single
Yeah,
shot
it does
mouth
look
on
very
for a
mankini.
start.
I'm not thinking about Foxx and a mankini anymore. No.
I don't want to think about me. Ooh. There's no reason for you to think about me in a mankini.
Yeah. Remove that image from my retinas, please.
I don't know why you have this idea about me in mankinis. It's not natural, you know.
We do know you've got one, and we bet you've tried it on.
Yeah.
Chris sent me one, and I didn't have it in the house for very long
I
before.
know.
it went
See,
in the bin.
we all know you got the sent one, and we're like, yeah. I bet he so put it on and just looked in the mirror. And went,
No,
yeah,
I bet he's wearing it now. I bet he wears it every Monday.
it's actually in the box down there because I might use it for gunk washing models at some point if I run out of t-shirts.
There's not much to it. I don't think it'd get much use for a gun.
Yeah, any gunk wash small things.
I do not have my mankini on.
Rock on, Tommy. Snap. Takes a whole new angle on that one, doesn't it? Ooh.
So, Ted,
I think-
how can they win this lovely?
Yeah,
new
how can you win
kit?
it? Well, yes, we're going to give this away for this week, and all you have to do is comment after the show's finished. Is go across to the YouTube channel and find the video from this week and comment underneath it. And all you have to do is give us a comment, a Top Gun style comment. You know, like Maverick, the circuit is full of something like that.
Ted has never seen Top Gun.
Your Top Gun name be?
Yeah,
Ooh,
Top
yeah.
Gun. Yeah. What
would
would your pilot's name be if
Yeah,
you
what
were
would your fighter pilot name be?
Yeah, Top Gun pilot name like Maverick or
Yeah,
I
your
don't
call
know.
sign. Yeah.
Yeah, your call sign. What would it be?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's all you have to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go along.
No.
Yeah.
Once this show's finished, it should just be a normal video on the channel. So just give it 10 or 15 minutes after the show finishes. Find tonight's show and just stick a comment on there. And then what we'll do next week, we'll use the YouTube comment picker at randomness that randomly picks YouTube comments randomly at random from YouTube and the comments. And we'll pick out one of the comments as a winner. Now, please make sure, of course, in case we show the comments next week, please make sure your comments are family friendly and, don't go a little bit blue for the dads. We don't want that because it's a family friendly show. Until we talk about like mankinis and trouser tents, but other than that, a little bit blue for the dads, but that's all right. We can live with that. How am I going to get to sleep now thinking about Foxx and a mankini, says Dave Cardboard. Anders Ericsson says mankini and golden syrup. I didn't even start that. You guys, this is your problem.
There's going to be photoshops and all sorts of things appearing
Yeah,
now. Isn't there?
I think tonight the way to sleep is gin.
EC Idaho says I'm blind from mental trauma.
Absolutely.
Donald McKenzie says I bought one for my wife at Christmas. And then he clarifies an F18, not a mankini, obviously. Both sat at the bench one night with a bottle of red and she built it up. Great introductory kits.
Yeah.
Please note, if you win it, you have to paint it with the green mankini colour scheme, says Zadster.
Not that Jamie wants to know, but he says he's put a message in chat earlier, and I think it was missed, but it's my birthday tomorrow.
Happy birthday tomorrow, Jamie.
The
Happy
most
birthday, Jamie.
subtle of hints, mate.
Yeah.
Are we going to sing it? I think we should sing it.
Yeah, could do.
Yeah. Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3, 2, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Don't put it on me.
It's your fault.
Happy birthday, dear Jamie.
Happy birthday to
Happy
you.
birthday to you.
Get hold of that.
Get hold of that. What was that?
That was happy birthday.
You'll never mention it again.
There you go, mate. I bet you wish you hadn't put that in bold now.
Boom.
Moist.
Oh, we have not done a moist. Moist.
And it was his birthday tomorrow, so he actually didn't qualify for a birthday song.
He can play this
I
back
know,
tomorrow. It'll
but
be all right.
It was the way he sat there with the bottom lip out and retyped it. Oh,
It was the puppy dog eyes, wasn't it?
My birthday tomorrow, and no one cares.
Yeah, we do miss a lot of chat, unfortunately, because it goes really fast and we're old and rubbish. So if ever you do put a comment in chat and we miss it, just
However, now, Jamie, it has to be cake. Yeah, we expect cake in the post tomorrow.
We expect you to PayPal us all cake.
Yeah. It's only when you do these type of streams, though, that you realise how difficult it is to keep an eye on the chat. Because, like you say, we all done it when we first started, where you think, oh, they've not read me comment out. But like you say, we're all trying to host and do stuff, and the chat just goes 90 mile an hour, doesn't it?
Yeah, and with chat jumping like it's been doing tonight as well. Well, for me anyway. But
Anders Ericsson says, Potatis.
Did he? I didn't know.
He did. He said, Potatis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Jamie says he was actually sat having a wibble with his bottom lip out. Good man.
Now, to be fair to Jamie, we didn't say it at the start, but he's been doing it right. He's been putting his comments in big fat capital letters all night, or as Ted would call them, bold. Yeah, he's been doing that all night, and we forgot to say that at the start. So well done, Jamie. You get extra points for that.
No. You forgot to say it.
This is not a democracy. Oh no, it's a democracy. It's a quadrocracy.
Yeah.
We all share the responsibilities.
Absolutely. But happy
So
birthday
it's basically
anyway.
Colin's fault.
Some people are
Oh,
more
yeah, I don't
responsible than
mind.
others.
I will accept all guilt, mate. I've got A-level guilt. This face looks guilty, even if I'm innocent.
Yeah, we have a no blame culture in eModels.
Yeah, it's my fault.
Yeah.
You're the most Catholic non-Catholic I've ever met.
Well, yeah, because it's basically blame the new guy. Because Chris, when it was you three, used to get the blame all the time, and then Muggins come along, and Chris's first comment was, "You'll be getting the blame for everything from now on."
Was I wrong?
I think,
Was I it?
Yeah, but I think by now we can safely no longer consider you the new guy.
No, it's a year and a half now.
We're all grizzled ancients now, so
Yeah.
we need a new guy. We need new blood. need Tony to get himself sorted out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need Tony to pull in.
Yeah.
Pull in,
So
mate.
who's gonna go then?
Well, yeah, how would we fit? How would we fit 5 on the screen? I suppose we would have to just hide Foxx, wouldn't we, Tim?
Hang on, if we still got a screen share, how would you actually fit 5 people on? How would it look? Have we got a 5th screen we can pop in to just see? What
It puts 3 across the top and 2 across the bottom.
Oh, okay, that's all right.
So it's sort of similar. There's more gaps than that. Or you can do that one with just more down the side.
Yeah, you can go with a Brady Bunch, but yeah. Or, you can just remove Foxx totally, can't you? And just say, Tony, we got a vacancy.
Not like that.
Like that, Chris, yeah. I was going to do it, but I thought I might end up permanently removing
You think
him.
it'd be rude to do that, but he hasn't even noticed.
Oh, Lamekins.
Dave Cardboard says, who forgot to say what have we been building this week? We kind of didn't do that, did we? Well, Ted did, and then we wandered off into other things.
Yeah.
So, Ted, what have you been building this week, very quickly before we call quits?
Yeah, what I've been building, I've been doing the boat tank personally. Good. So
Boat tank.
got a coat paint on it.
Yeah.
It's kind of got a... Who's that Japanese animator, the one that did Totoro and stuff?
No idea.
My neighbour Totoro and stuff.
It wasn't me that time. I didn't do anything. That was all Fox's falling out completely.
Crashed out.
It wasn't. It
It's
wasn't
got
us.
it looks like something out of a Studio Ghibli film, is what I was about to say. Like some sort of silly vehicle from a Studio Ghibli film.
Yeah, I bet you could do some great sort of sci-fi on that, couldn't you?
I'd
Oh,
deathcore it up. I'd get that as a deathcore vehicle.
So you-
Absolutely.
At risk of getting a virtual hug, mate, I'd orc that up with a bit of, oh no, his job is done. Look at him. Orcify it.
Yeah, you like your orcs now, didn't you?
Yeah, I've built that, and I've been doing the petrol tank. That's the Mike Mountain 432.
432. Dad's just done a little
and a
screen.
Rossi bike, and been doing a bit on the eModels build, which is over there. So yeah.
And there's something else you've been working on.
That
I want to
show
see.
it, don't you? You want to see it.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
show it.
Some additional It's got some additional features since you last
Oh.
saw it. Yeah, I've been doing.
It's still my beating heart.
I've been 3D printing flaps to go
Oh,
on the front.
flaps.
Flaps. So yeah, and
The flaps on that.
yeah, and done a bit of drillage ready for lighting. So
Ooh, get you, lovely.
yeah.
What you been up to, Chris?
I have been putting the finishing touches on my diorama that is just here, but I can't pick it up because it's all got trees on it that might wobble and fall over if I move it.
Still.
So yes, that shall be appearing on my channel over the next week or so.
Pete Rogers said he's just ordered one of these, so that'll be the tank boat, I guess.
Oh, nice.
Landwasser Schlepper.
Yeah, and have a lunch fashion slip. Yeah, just don't bother too much about all the detail inside because you won't see it.
Yeah.
Sounds
EC
about right.
Idaho says, yes, it does look like something out of Studio Ghibli film. It does. I've been working on my Orc Dakka Jet.
Oh,
Slowly.
nice.
It's coming on slowly. So that's what I've been doing. I've been painting checkers. Today I've been actually masking canopies, which is...
Yeah, and then you done bombs of goodness as well, didn't you? The big boom bombs.
Yeah, I got some big boom bombs that I also painted checkers on. Because it's orcs. It's got to have checkers on it. It's orcs, isn't it?
Absolutely, mate. Yeah.
A little bit of orcs.
Oh,
I got my little pilot paint up. You can't really see them.
so on their axes they carry, do they have all candles?
Oh, handles.
Hang about, I've got a button for that.
Folk handles.
You get.
If I don't move, do you think they'll sit there longer waiting for it to finish because they don't know how long it's going to take to finish?
I know. I don't know how long it
You really
takes.
are a man of cruelness.
We all
It's
need a
finished, by
little
the way.
copy of the stream playing, don't we, in the background, so we can see.
Yeah, but then you'd be 10 seconds behind anyway. So,
I know, and it'd be like every Saturday going for 5 minutes.
are we
endless.
done anyway? Have we finished?
I think we're all done for tonight, unless anybody's got anything else to say from the committee. Is there anything?
Round's
any
complete.
Any other points
Nope.
to raise?
Only thing I've got to say is it's Fox's what's in store next week.
It is indeed,
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Darn. Look at the post-it note.
Look at the post-it note, Fox.
So next week, brush up on your quantum mechanics because
Yay.
buckle in, we're going for a ride. We might not. It might be like shapes. It could be It could be the first 5 things I saw when I went to the front page. Just to remind everybody, get your orders in. Do keep in mind, be patient with James and the gang when you place your orders or send your emails or whatever. Please give them extra time to get your orders processed. They probably are working at a bit of a backlog, but they'll do their best. If you place an order, please don't mail them 3 days later to say, where's my order? If you get a thing saying here's your tracking number, it doesn't mean it's been shipped. It just means they've picked your order, and the system automatically generates a tracking number. They may not have even put it in a box yet, so give them extra time. If there's a problem with your order, they will contact you. Other than that, just assume it'll get shipped out to you. Yep. It may just take a few extra days while they have to get everything dealt with. So please do be patient with James while he works. He's even sleeping there, so.
Yeah, and if you do miss something off your order, don't mail them and say, I've missed something off, can you add it? Just make another order.
Yeah, because the chances are you won't see the email until you sent your order out anyway. So just place another order. If all being well, they'll probably see that there's 2 separate orders from the same place and stick them all together anyway.
Yeah. So good. Yeah. Oh, well, on that note, I think we'll call the meeting to a close and minute that. So with the time it being 22:40 hours on a Monday night, we'll say good night to you all. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you all again next week, same time, same place, same back channel.
Yep.
So good night, everybody.
Do your
Good night.
goodness, Ted.
Bye now.